Shalom, shalom. I am back with another live. Um, talking about. Well, actually, this is a redo. This is a redo. I've done this video um about 2 years ago, and I needed to redo it for numerous of reasons. And so I'm back on here to share my story. And uh, if you're triggered, if you easily triggered by certain topics, then maybe this video ain't for you, but then again, maybe it is for you. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I want to share my story. This is gonna be like a two-part series. So, um, yeah. So I want to talk about this. So, in my last live I did last week, I talked about how briefly I talked about how um I always had discernment, but trauma, my childhood trauma that I wasn't healed from, has suppressed my gifts. My gift of having a discerning spirit, or having discernment rather. So I sorry if you guys hear that loud music, but I'm in my bedroom. But anyway, so if I struggled with um dis- discernment because I had childhood trauma that suppressed it. You know what I mean? And so I want to talk about the trauma that I experienced, and and know that I'm delivered. The Most High has set me free from that. So I'm on the other side of being healed. You know what I mean? So I just want to share that with you guys. And so you see, the title of my video is how trauma affects your quality of life and how it affected mine. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. It's some real stuff I'm about to talk about that ain't, you know, the greatest. But I want to encourage people to get healed. If you have trauma that's preventing you from moving forward, please get healed, because it's a lot of broken people out here in this world. A lot of broken people that hasn't, took the time to deal with their trauma, to face their trauma, you know. And I want to be an encouragement to people for healing. Be it, doesn't matter your gender, your nationality, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We all deserve to be healed from trauma and be the best version of ourselves, you know? So I have notes. I got like I got a lot of notes. So hopefully this video won't be too long, but I'm quite sure it will be long. And I also got a couple of verses for encouragement, for you to study in your own time. But anyway, so we're gonna get into it. So trauma has no gender. It affects everyone, you know. Um, Again, alcoholism, drug abuse, workaholics, sex workers, homosexual, you name it. A lot of the people that's doing that or that is involved in that is because they're trying to numb their pain from trauma. You know what I'm saying? And due to double standards, this is very important. Due to double standards between men and women, men can mask it differently than women. You know what I'm saying? Because the world praises a man that can have more than one woman, that's sleeping around with different women and all that stuff. The world praises that. So instead of a man wanting to be healed from trauma, he embraces what the world tells him it's okay to do. You know what I mean? And the Most High didn't create men to be womanizers, to be none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. So certain traumas is acceptable in society. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, it's trauma. You know, and so I'm gonna get into my timeline of trauma. I had trauma on top of trauma. Believe it or not, trauma on top of trauma is what I grew up with. You know what I mean? And at the time, I didn't know that it was trauma, that it was a term for it, that it was trauma. But as I got older and I experienced and I went to therapy and all that stuff, um, I realized it was trauma that I was experiencing. So here we go. We're going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? So I was born in Houston, Texas. Got family out there still. I moved to California when I was 6 years old. Me, my mom, my brother. Me, my mom, and my brother. My dad abandoned us, so he left my mom when now she was married to him. So he walked out on his family and just left my mom to raise me and my brother. And but I praise the Most High that I my auntie, which is his sister, and my grandparents, which was his parents, were great. Grandparents was a great auntie. They took care of us. They kind of helped fill in that void per se, but he wasn't there. Um so that was that. And then when I was in Texas, I was molested by a babysitter. Now, mind you, I said again, I moved to California when I was 6 years old. So I was molested by a babysitter. So toddler, I'm a toddler, a toddler when this happened to me. So yeah, that particular incident, again, I didn't understand what was happening to me, what he was doing to me, and then, like, I didn't understand it. I'm young, so it shaped my it's that molestation shaped my mind to be very, this may sound crazy, but it's true. It shaped my mind to be very, very sexual at a very young age. I didn't understand anything about sex, didn't know anything. I'm a toddler. What do I know about that? And I'm gonna give you an example of that. Like, I would watch like certain shows and stuff like that. Like, it was this one movie in the 80s called, I think it was called Werewolf or something like that, or something to that nature. But it was an 80s movie, and at the end of the movie, I remember the guy and the girl was like kissing at the end. I think it was his girlfriend, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so they're kissing, and it's making me feel good sexually. I'm a toddler, okay? Again, I'm not understanding none of this. Now that I'm grown, I understand, and being going through therapy, I understand what was happening. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, yeah, I'm like feeling good, and I will always want to watch that movie, especially the end part, because of how it made me feel. Now, mind you, again, I'm a toddler. You know what I'm saying? Imagine your 4 year old, your 5 year old, even 6 year old, 7 year old, 3 year old. Imagine them having those kind of thoughts at that age. So that was one thing that I dealt with. So then again, I didn't tell my mom at this time because I just didn't know to tell her. I didn't know. So we moved to California. I'm 6 years old, going to, I moved in. We stayed with my great grandmother, and if I'm looking down, I'm looking at notes, y'all. Okay, stay with my great grandmother. Um, grew up Pentecostal. I was, Christian. I was, professing Christianity, going to Sunday churches and stuff like that. I wasn't keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, nothing like that. But I grew up in Pentecostal. And I remember at a very young age, my heart posture, I always wanted to be a good girl. That was something that I really, really thrived in, being good. I didn't want to make my mom mad. This is when I'm small. I didn't want to upset my mom. I didn't want to get her angry. I just always wanted to do the right thing by my mom. I didn't want to make her upset. So I took pride in being good. I had good grades. I was student of the month, all that stuff. I was very intentional about being a good girl. And also, I also had a relationship with the Most High at a very young age. At the time, I'm calling him God. I'm not knowing about, uh, I'm not knowing that so-called Black Americans are Hebrew Israelites. I'm not knowing none of that. But the Most High knew that I really wanted to serve him for real, even at a young age. I really, really wanted to serve the Most High. Like, I wanted to please him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make my mom happy. I wanted to make God happy. At the time, I'm calling him God. I wanted to make him happy. So I lived my life. I kind of shaped my life around doing that. So at a very young age, um, reading my Bible every day. I used to love reading my Bible. My mom had bought me a Precious Moment Bible. I read that Bible until they fell apart. I used to love reading the Bible. I do still, but I'm just saying for time, for back then. I used to love reading the Bible. I read the Bible every day. I fast. I make sure I fast. And, Pentecostal, they believe in um, Holy. You get the Holy Spirit, you start shouting and all that stuff. I was doing that in church, mimicking the adults, thinking that, hey, this is how you get the Holy Spirit. You have to shout in church. So at a young age, I'm shouting in church and doing all that and praying and fasting and just really was intentional with my walk, right? So, um, yeah, so I was doing that. And I used to stand outside my mom's apartment, and even wherever we went, I would stand outside, like say like my mom's taking my brother to get his haircut. I will always have tracks. You know how you go to like a laundromat or whatever, and they always have like little tracks. Um, they have tracks in the wash house or whatever. So I would have a gang of tracks. I don't even know. I don't even remember where I got the tracks from, but I would have a gang of tracks, and I would stand outside and pass them out. I wanted people to know about God and all that stuff. So I would be out there passing out tracts. I enjoyed doing that. And so I really was devoted to the most high, you know, as far as what my little brain could comprehend of God. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to please him for real. So I remember one day, um, I'm like 8 years old. Now, mind you, so back, rewind a little bit. So I ended up telling my mom when we moved to California. I ended up telling my mom how what the babysitter had done to me, and it broke her heart. It devastated her heart so bad because my mom, she always wanted to protect her children. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, her being molested too and raped and all that stuff, she didn't want that to happen to me, but it ended up happening to me. So she was very devastated by that and stuff like that, and that broke her heart, whatever. So anyway, fast forward, and now again, I'm not thinking that's really affecting me for real because I'm so young. So fast forward, um, I'm 8 years old. I remember I took a nap. I had a dream that I remember this dream like it was yesterday. I had a dream. To me, what I perceived was an angel telling me I was going to tell people about God and they were going to be saved, right? I remember waking up to that dream so happy. I ran to my mom, like, Mom, guess what? Guess what? I had a dream. An angel was talking to me that I'm gonna tell people about God. They're gonna be saved. And at the time, I'm thinking it was gonna be then at that young age, not knowing the road ahead of me was gonna be something, you know what I'm saying? Something terrible. And so yeah, so I was excited. So I really was on fire about passing out tracts and trying to tell people about God and stuff like that, and really, going hard in my Bible and all that stuff. So with me being like that, I was always different. The fact that I wanted to be good and do good all the time, I was different from everybody else. I just did not fit in. I didn't fit even with my peers at church. Now I had honestly I had two real solid friends from the church I grew up in. We still friends today. You know what I'm saying? They was my best friends. Y'all know who y'all are if y'all watching this. They was my best friends. We still talk to this day. Probably don't talk as much as we used to. You know what I'm saying? But we still talk to this day. And but I just did not. I didn't fit in. I just didn't fit in. And that was something that was so hard for me to deal with. I'm thinking like, what's wrong with me? Everywhere I go, I don't fit in. I wasn't exposed to a lot of stuff. My mom didn't expose me to. She didn't drink. She didn't do drugs. She she told me one time when we was living in Texas that I asked her could she stop cussing because she used to cuss a lot. I don't even remember her cussing for real. You know what I mean? But um uh hold on, y'all. My mom is calling me right now. Uh uh Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Uh, so anyway, Shalom, Maurice, how you doing? So anyway, yeah, my mom, she sheltered us from a lot of things. Like, and what I said that was her, what I said that was her, I wouldn't say that was her downfall, but she was doing the best that she could with how she grew up. You know what I'm saying? So she was trying to protect us or whatever. So I wasn't exposed to a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I didn't know, you know? So, on top of music that I listened to at the time was gospel music. I never knew nothing about rap. Or I know nothing about that stuff. Every song that I knew was gospel. All I played was gospel. You know, again, I'm very young. You know, I'm not exposed to none of that kind of stuff. You know, so so that's that. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward to school life. Now I'm out here in California. I'm going to school. This is when trauma starts to be on top of trauma. You know what I mean? I'm at school. Again, I'm very different from the rest of the kids. I'm a good girl. I'm quiet. I'm to myself. You know, just I didn't have a really a outgoing personality for real. Like I was just really to myself, you know. And again, different. You know, I didn't fit in with a lot of the kids. A lot of the different kids was exposed to things that I wasn't exposed to. So I carried myself different from them. And so as a result of that, I got bullied. I was bullied in school. I was bullied. I was teased. I was called ugly. I had body dysmorphia because I was very, very skinny. I was like toothpick skinny. You know what I mean? So now I'm developing, you know, body dysmorphia because some of the girls is developed already. They, you know, and I don't have nothing. I'm just like this. You know what I mean? I didn't have nothing. So I would get teased. I would literally get teased for that. And so, you know, I wasn't popular. I just didn't fit in, you know, and every school I went to, I had the same problem, you know, except for junior high. Junior high was the best years of school for me because it was a private school. Everybody knew each other. My mom actually worked there, so it was a very small school. Everybody knew each other. We was all cool. You know what I mean? So I didn't have no issues in junior high school. You know, but every school I went to outside of junior high school was an issue for me because it was like everywhere I went, I would get teased and bullied about the same type of things. Uh, ugly. I'm ugly. Very skinny. I don't fit in. I'm different. I'm not popular. You know what I'm saying? So I always had that issue. You know, I was the one that everybody picked on, you know, because I didn't stand up for myself. I never stood up for myself. I just internalized it. You know what I mean? I would internalize the hurt and the pain and I wouldn't talk about it. I never told my mom what I was going through. Um, she was, yeah, because something had happened between me and my mom. She said something to me to make me feel like I didn't want to talk to her again. So that's what caused me to internalize my hurt and my pain and all that stuff. So I didn't tell her anything. So now I'm going through all this stuff, and as a result of everybody teasing me and making fun of me, I'm learning to pick myself apart. So I would pick myself apart. I literally just started to hate myself, and I would pick my friends. Like it was this one friend. I grew up on a certain street, and it was this one friend. I thought she was just the prettiest girl in the world. You know what I mean? I wanted to be like her. I wanted to look like her and everything. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't a real friend to me. Like she would also um how can I say this? She would also bully and tease me too. You know what I'm saying? Like she would um what I'm trying it's a way I'm trying to say something like how somebody try to that she preyed off of my insecurities. That's what it was. So she knew that I was insecure about certain things, and she also knew that I was different. You know what I mean? And my mom would tell me, "She's jealous of you. She's jealous of you." And I used to be like, "Are you? Do you see her and see me? How can she be jealous of me?" You know what I mean? But it was more so um, the call on my life that people can see, even kids, people can see that you're different and that you have a calling. Shalom, Stacy. People can see that you're different and have a call in your life, and they can treat you a certain type of way because they're jealous. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even gotta be about looks or what you got or anything like that, you know? It's about how you the call, you know what I mean? And people can really try to break you down because they want what you have. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I'm not understanding I'm not understanding none of this. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure out why everybody picks on me. Why me? What's the problem with me? Why am I everywhere I'm going, people are saying the same thing. So if everybody's saying the same thing, it must be true, right? So that's something that I always kind of like battle with in my mind. And so as a result of that, I ended up losing myself because I tried to be like other people. Like I tried to be like my peers, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up losing who I really was to the core. Like if somebody was to ask me, um, tell me about yourself. I remember one time, um, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm gonna share this. I remember one time I'm at this fast food restaurant or whatever, and this guy was trying to talk to me, and I think I was there for like an interview or something. Ever since I had children, girl, man, this listen, you know what? But the Most High, the Most High will heal. You just gotta keep looking towards Him. You know, keep praying and stuff like that. Because honestly, I don't, if somebody would have told me at the age of 19 that I would be the woman that I am today, as far as like the way that I think, the way that I carry myself, the way that I view life, I would have never believed it because I was so traumatized. You feel me? Like I was so broken for real, you know? So anyway, I'm at the this restaurant. I think I was waiting for the manager. I was trying to get a job there or whatever. So this guy was trying to talk to me while I'm waiting. And so he was like, I remember him asking me, so tell me about yourself. Do you know I did not know what to say? Like I was stuck. Like I'm like, honestly, I didn't know for real. Like I couldn't really tell him nothing about me because I lost myself trying to be like other people. And yeah, so that was a thing. Like I literally lost myself trying to be like the people I'm hanging around with, which really aren't my friends for real. You know, um, I'm I'm trying to be like them and stuff like that. And you know, you try to be like somebody else. Eventually, you're gonna lose yourself completely. And I completely lost myself. You know, and so not only that, on the flip side of that, I'm going through the things I'm going through in school. Also, I'm experiencing. I grew up with church hurt. And what do I mean by that? Church hurt. I was the person that was last to get picked. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, I'm so like they know the people knew that I'm really involved in church for real. I really want to do the right thing in church for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I really was dedicated for real. But I was the last to get picked. I was never the first to be picked. It was like, okay, well, if none of the other girls is here, then we choose Antonia. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up internalizing that. Like, dang, something is really wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how the trauma is on top of trauma and it's just really messing with my mind for real, you know? And so that was that. I remember one time, this is how much I love church. I remember one time I was my mom was going on a road trip. She was dating a guy this time. Her and my brother was going on a road trip to Vegas, right? I was like, and it was a church event going on that same weekend. Did you know I chose the church event? I did not want to go to Vegas or whatever the road trip. I did not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I was really like about that church life. You know what I'm saying? How much I was dedicated to it. You know, and the fact that I was just always the last to get chose. Like for example, like I don't know if you guys ever seen. I think probably Stacey, you probably have. I do sign language to music, and I do it in the form of a dance, but it's actually sign language. So a person that's deaf can understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because it's actual sign language or whatever. I learned that growing up in the Pentecostal church. My friend, she learned it from the school that a private school that she was going to, and she brought it to the church, and I fell in love. I was like, oh my goodness, I love this. I begged my mom to buy me sign language books and stuff like that. She ended up buying me a sign language book. I started learning songs on my own. You know, that was something that I love to do, and even though I did it at the other church, I still was the last to get chosen. You know what I'm saying? Like all the other girls was always before me. like, and it was just like, man, like, again, it's attacking my self-esteem. I'm not talking about nothing to nobody. I'm not telling my mom. I'm not telling friends. Again, I'm internalizing it. And once you start internalizing stuff, eventually it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out one way or another. So fast. So now let's get into the meat of this. High school. High school took a turn for the worse. You know what I'm saying? Because now high school, puberty to kick it in. Hormones. We trying to really find ourselves for real. We dealing with other teenagers. It was just a crazy mess. So I'm exposed. I'm going to this. I went to a private junior high school. Now I'm going to a public high school, a big one, one of the known high schools at the time. And it's like, now I'm exposed to gang dudes that's gang members, dudes that's doing drugs, and all kind of stuff. I'm exposed to uh a whole lot of stuff. And again, teased even more, even way worse than I ever thought I could be teased. You know what I'm saying? And bullied and stuff like that. So I was always to myself and just like just a broken mess at this point. And I started to be very, very self-conscious. I started hating myself. I started like I said, I was picking myself apart real bad, real bad. I allowed people to show me to how to treat myself, which is crazy. But yeah, I didn't know how to stand up for myself and own who I was as an individual. I didn't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to be like everybody. I wanted to be like everybody else. And so um also another thing I would deal with is the boys would lie on me and said I did things that I wasn't even doing. So then rumors were spread about me. It was just so much, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like so broken. Now at this point, fast forward to like second semester of my ninth grade year. I meet a friend. Me and her, we click really well. I'm starting to ditch. I'm getting exposed to stuff that I wasn't exposed to, doing things that I wasn't never doing. You know what I mean? And I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes. You know what I'm saying? So I was what you told her. I was deeply broken, severely broken. My mom, again, knew nothing, didn't tell her anything. And I remember now now I'm ditching school. I had lost my virginity. Didn't even know the worth of my body. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand the worth of my body. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with that. I lose my virginity. I'm smoking weed. I'm ditching school. I'm hanging with people I shouldn't be hanging with, gang members and all that stuff. I'm doing all kind of stuff now. And again, my mom ended up finding out summer school that I lost my virginity. I'm doing drugs and all that stuff. She finds out. She put me on lockdown. I'm talking about I couldn't go nowhere. Only thing I can go to was church, school, and to the grocery store with her. I couldn't hang out with friends. I couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm on lockdown. Now I'm going to 10th grade and stuff like that. I'm going to this school. I met another friend, and me and her is like thick as thieves. You know what I'm saying? You saw her, you saw me, vice versa. And so again, now Satan is playing on my mind. Satan started to play on my mind and telling me that uh he told me that if I start to strip, that the boys would like me. So I'm like, oh, if I do that, they would like me. I'm thinking like, okay, well, since I'm not pretty, I could be sexy, but since I'm not pretty, I could be sexy. So that seed was planted in my head by the devil. You know what I mean? And so I'm believing that. So I started to run away. Okay, so now at this point, like I said, my mom had me on lockdown. I'm running away from home. Running away from home, gone months at a time. My mom is crying when she finally, get me, or I come home or whatever. She's crying. I'm gone months at a time. And I remember she told me that the Holy Spirit had woke her up one morning because I was gone and she was crying and all that stuff. And told her, in spite of how everything may seem, everything's gonna be all right. So she always so my mom held on to that. You know what I'm saying? Now mind you, I'm running amok. I'm buck wild. I'm going for months at a time. I'm really out there. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, I learned how ruthless the streets really was for real. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, I was sheltered from a lot of stuff. And I started seeing how ruthless the streets was. As a matter of fact, I was I know you guys probably seen Players Club. I was Diamond's cousin. I didn't know what the heck was what. You know what I'm saying? And that was me. Like, I'm out here not knowing, I ain't got a lick of street smarts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just out here getting used and abused. And as a result of me stripping and all that stuff and running away from home, now I'm getting raped more, more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was S8 so many times, like I had lost count. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm just like, now I'm even more broken. I'm even more I'm more devalued to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what is wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? I got to the point to where I just didn't care about life. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had developed this really, really bad attitude. I wasn't the girl that wanted to be good anymore. I didn't want to read my Bible. I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I really was buck wild, you know? I allowed demons to enter me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing some crazy stuff. Some crazy stuff. I wasn't even myself. My mom used to tell me, I don't even know who you are anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's how self-destructive I was. You know what I'm saying? And also, because I thought I was so skinny, I had body dysmorphia really bad, I dressed like a prostitute. Like, all my clothes had to be next to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Be it skirt, be it shorts, be it I'm wearing shirts that's up here, shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm walking around literally half naked. And I would always get approached by pimps, but get mad that a pimp approached me. But I'm looking like what he trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to get, you know? So I'm doing all of this stuff. And as a result of me behaving the way behaving, I'm reaping the things that I'm sowing. You know what I'm saying? And which was self destruction. You know what I'm saying? Which was just not loving myself. You know what I'm saying? And some men prey on women that have low self esteem. You know what I'm saying? And that was always my thing. And I did a video talking about the men that I had chose or decided to get involved with, you know, and those men meant me no good, you know. They was the Satan would use those men to try to literally take me out or destroy me. You know what I'm saying? And so again, now I got daddy issues. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for love from a man in all the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. You know. And so again, when I was talking about um oh wait, so yeah, so I'm dressing half naked, next to nothing clothes. I remember I would be walking down the street. This is so embarrassing to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I would be walking down the street and moms would be like little boys would be in the car with their moms. And I remember this one time walking down the street and this lady, she had her son in the back seat. Do you know this lady turned around and closed her son's eyes? She was like that to her son and drove, you know what I'm saying, to drive past me because the way that I was dressed. You know what I'm saying? And I remember feeling some type of way when I saw it, but again, I adopted this attitude that I don't care for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, that was my defense mechanism for my pain. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I really would try to walk in. I did not care. You know what I'm saying? So, and also, if you read the book of Proverbs, the Not I ain't talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. The woman in Proverbs that the Bible says stay clear from. I was her. That was me. My feet wouldn't stay at home. I'm always out in the streets. I'm always partying. I'm here, there. You know what I'm saying? I was not a woman that a respectable man would want to bring home to his mom. You know what I'm saying? Because due to the fact that I was so broken, I had trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma and I didn't know how to deal with it. Again, I'm not talking about it. My mom doesn't know, you know. And when you internalize pain for real, it you may think that, oh, I'm not gonna never talk about it to nobody, but you're gonna act it out. One way or another, you're gonna act it out. You're gonna behave in ways to where um it's detrimental to yourself, to the people that's around you, to you know what I'm saying, people that love and care about you. It's gonna come out and it's gonna affect other people. Trauma, what they say, hurt people for real. That's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And we see that in this world today. It's so many broken people walking around, hurt people that's walking around that's just hurting people. You know what I'm saying? And lots of times it's because they're not healed from trauma, you know? And so um what happens when you internalize is it's going to come out one way, whether it's anger issues, right? Some people got anger issues because of stuff that happened to them. Drug abuse. People do drugs because of, you know what I'm saying, they trying to numb the pain, which really is not numbing the pain, is adding to the problem, you know what I'm saying? And then also we have to, especially as so-called black people, Shalom, Winifred. Um, we as so-called black people gotta get away from the stigma of therapy doesn't work. We have to get away from that. We really, the Most High blesses people with gifts, right? Is it people that's therapists that's in there for the money and they don't care about people? Absolutely. We are that's in every profession of life. There's some people in there that really is not in there for really helping people. They just in there for the money and just keep it pushing. But there's people in there that actually wants to help you. You know what I mean? So for me, when I did therapy, I remember praying to the Most High and asking Him to lead me to the right therapist for me. You know what I'm saying? And which He did. We have to get away from that stigma, like, oh, I want people all in my business. Oh, therapy, all they want to do is sit there and um what have I heard? I've heard people say that therapy, they all they just do is sit there and listen to your problems. They really don't give you no solutions for real. If you got the wrong therapist, but if you have the right therapist, they give you tools and they help you to navigate through the trauma. You know what I'm saying? And recognize your triggers, recognize, well, that's good. That's good. And the Most High gonna lead you. Quan, Quandre, if I'm butchering your name, forgive me. But yeah, the Most High will lead you. He did that for me for real because um well, in my next part, because I'm doing a two-part series on this or whatever. So my next part, I'm gonna get to how I got to wanting to get therapy, whatever, because my mom had even shipped me back to Texas to live with my auntie. You know, um, oh, okay, okay, good, okay. So my mom had shipped me back to Texas because I'm buck wild, I'm running away, whatever. They trying to figure out how to get me back on track. Move back with my auntie, my dad's sister, and that was very short lived. I was too far gone. My auntie even tried to, um, she even had, booked a therapist for me to try to help me. You know what I'm saying? But I was so far gone. I didn't even want to do it for real. I would do it because I was there, but I was so into what I was doing that I didn't want to do that. And I remember also one time when I had went to a after I moved back to California, because my auntie, she shipped me right back because I was gonna damage your daughters. That's how buck wild I was. You know what I'm saying? So she shipped me back, and I remember going to this. I don't know if it was Job Corps or if it was like a job program, another job program that I went to. And I remember um, talking to a therapist, and the people at the job program wanted me to go to therapy, right? They wanted me to go to therapy because they felt like they seen that I was broken. You know what I'm saying? But they also saw the good in me too. You know what I mean? I was, it was people that actually believed in me when I couldn't even believe in myself for real. So they had set up a therapist for me. I'm so far gone mentally, right? I'm so far gone mentally that I tell this therapist that, I'm telling her about the stuff that happened to me, and she's just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe all this stuff happened to you. And I remember telling her, I said, if I was to get raped again, I wouldn't even fight. I wouldn't even put up a fight. Because why? There's no value to me. Why should I? And she was just like, I remember her face, like, and she was trying to get me to not think that way. But again, I was so far gone mentally that that's the way I thought. That's the way I saw myself. Um I didn't I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So therefore, that's the way that I thought. That's the way that I viewed life. That's the way, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of gave up on myself for real, you know what I'm saying? And my mom would tell me all the time, you have a death wish. You have a death wish, you know? And it was true. I would hear her say that, but I wouldn't, it didn't bother me for real because I actually did. Like, it was so many times that I wanted to die. Like, I wanted to die, but I didn't have the guts to take my own life. Did not. But what I would do, which is even worse, I would put myself in dangerous situations to where something could happen to me. And I praise the Most High. I praise the Most High that nothing never happened to me because I'd have been doomed for destruction. I remember one time. This is when I was like 17 or something like that. I had run away from home, and I was at a bus stop. I was on my way to a strip club. Now, mind you, I'm stripping. I'm 16, 17, a minor, stripping at these underground illegal strip clubs for grown men. You know what I'm saying? Just, yeah, whatever. So I'm at the bus stop. Around this time in California, Los Angeles, it was a guy called the Grim Janelle. Oh, sorry for what you went through. I bless y'all that he covered you in Hamashiach. Man, praise the Most High. I'm telling you, girl, Winifred, like I should have been dead so many times. The Most High had a hedge of protection around me for real. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm putting myself in these bad situations or whatever. But anyway, I'm at the bus stop waiting for the bus. I'm about to go to this club or whatever to go strip. I'm at the bus stop. Now, mind you, I would car hop with guys I did not know. They pull up on me. Hey, you want to ride? I'm hopping in the car. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask no questions. If I'm trying to get somewhere, I'm hopping in the car. So keep in mind that, right? So this lady, she pulls up on me. I'm in front of a gas station. She pulls up on me. She's like, excuse me, and I'm like kind of looking around, like who's she talking to, whatever. So she's like, yes, but God, you know what I'm saying? She She's like, excuse me. So I look. She's like, I need to give you a ride. And I'm like, give me a ride. I said, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. Because I'm looking at her like, no, you're a female. I'm going to get in the car with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, this guy, at this time, he was killing women. I knew of a female that he killed, whatever. This is around the time that he was really out there. You know what I'm saying? And the place where I was going to was his area, for real, So I'm at the bus stop. She's telling me I need to give you a ride, and she's not taking no for an answer, you know. And so I was just like, okay. So I get in the car with her, and she takes me to the place where I was going. Excuse me. She took me to the place where I was going, and I got the car with her. We didn't talk. I told her where I was going, and that was that. we didn't talk, And I was thinking to myself, I still think to this day, I believe that she was an angel, like literally saving my life for something bad. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I often think about that story and I'm just like, man, like the many times that the Most High put people in my life to help me get away from danger. You know what I mean? I remember one time, this is when I had run away. I had got jumped by 7 dudes and 2 girls. What happened was one of the guys would always try to talk to me. I was not interested in this guy. And now, mind you, too, the same boys that would make fun of me in school when I was out of school was trying to talk to me. So that confused me too. Like, wait a minute. So if I'm so ugly, why are these same dudes trying to get at me for real? You know? Anyway, so so it was this one guy that tried to talk to me all the time. I was not interested in him, but he was cool or whatever. So I'm I ran away from home. I'm staying with this guy at his house or whatever. So I remember I had came back in from a night out or whatever. And I come in the house, it's a gang, so it's like it's the 7 guys and it's these 2 females, right? And one of the guys that was in there was the guy that would always try to talk to me. He was there or whatever. So I'm in the and then it was 2 other women there that they had, I guess the guy that I was living with had tried to talk to one of the females or whatever. So she ended up going over there with her best friend. So they over there at the house or whatever, and she really didn't like him. She didn't like him for real. But it was all Yah ordained. You feel me? It was all Yah ordained. They was there to save my life for real, whatever. So anyway, so I come in, I feel the energy is off in the house. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I'm going to the bathroom. I'm using the bathroom. There's some scissors. It's some scissors on the counter next to me, right? And I knew one of the girls. So one of the girls was talking to the guy that liked it me. And she thinking that I'm trying to get at her dude, but that never was the case. I was not interested in him. He was trying to talk to me. So she's like, feeling some type of way or whatever, whatever. So I remember I'm in the bathroom. I look at the scissors to the side of me, and I said, if she come in here, because again the energy was up, I could tell that they were gonna try to do something to me. I said, if this girl come in this bathroom, I'm going to stab her. So I'm in the bathroom. She actually come in. I grab the scissors. I'm about to stab her with the scissors. Her cousin come. You about to? He like, babe, you ain't about to kill my cousin. And he started. He took off on me. He socked me. Bam! I flew in the bathtub. Blood everywhere now. Blood everywhere. So the guy, one of the guys that was trying to talk to me, that guy, he was like, "No, man, get off of her." He pulling all the dudes off of me. He pulled, man, get off of her, get off of her. So he closed the bathroom door. So he's wiping my face off. I'm telling you, blood was everywhere. The whole bathroom was bloody. He stopped me so hard. You know what I mean? So he's like, really like, before the guy pulled him off of me, all of them started hitting me because I really was gonna stab her for real. You know. So the guy, he closed him out the bathroom. He wiping my face. He's like, I'm crying and stuff like that. So the 2 girls, they come through. They're like, man, leave her alone, leave her alone. So they grab me and they following me down the hallway. They really was trying, that dude was trying to kill me for real. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I ended up leaving with the two ladies or whatever, and I ended up staying with her for a time and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I said all that to say, like, the Most High always had people in my put people in my life to kind of protect me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was not my time to go for real. You know, and I so at this point now, I finally go back home. I but I'm broken. I'm a broken mess. The streets did a number on me for real. You know what I'm saying? I didn't experience y'all knows what. You know what I'm saying? I am just a broken mess. You know, and at this point, I didn't swept so much stuff under the rug because I wouldn't face nothing. I wasn't trying to face nothing because I was hurting. I was broken. Everything was too painful. I had swept so much stuff under the rug, and you know how, say this is the carpet, this is the rug. Say you put the rug on top of the carpet. You know how flat the rug is to the carpet, whatever. I had swept so much stuff under that rug. It was eye level. It had became eye level. It was no more flat to the ground like a rug is supposed to be. It was eye level because I just did not want to face my demons. I didn't want to face the trauma. I wanted to justify it. I wanted to take on this different persona of myself. in order to be able to deal with it. But all it was doing was destroying me even more. You know what I'm saying? And I just would always try to put myself in situations that I would die, you know? And I just praise the Most High that He didn't let that happen, you know? And then the way that I used to think, not only did I have a bad attitude and hated my life, but I thought that all men were dogs. Every single last man on the planet Earth, to me, were dogs, you know? Me not knowing because they're the ones that I'm picking are that. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones that I'm allowing into my life, they are that. But to say that every man is a dog, no. But that's how trauma shaped my way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? You think about, you guys are familiar with red pill content or whatever, and most of those men that's involved in red pill hate women. They hate women. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times the men that hate women have mommy issues. You know what I'm saying? I had daddy issues. On top of the other trauma that I was dealing with, I had daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? So if my own dad walked out on me and left me and my brother and my mom, his wife, at the time, then yeah, all men is trash. All men are trash. You know what I'm saying? And so that was my mindset. So as a result of me thinking like that, I would think like I gotta beat these I gotta beat these dudes at their own game. You know what I'm saying? If a dude try to talk to me, whatever, I'm already plotting on how, you know what I'm saying, I could get what I could get and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? And some of the dudes, they used to be like, man, you act like a dude, like you act like a nigga for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I would not let myself get attached to no guy. Um I learned how to detach emotionally from guys and just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? I had a roster. You know what I'm saying? My reputation was so damaged, you know, and people just did not understand that I was a broken woman. Like I was broken for real. And yeah, my vision, my way of life, my way of seeing life was so distorted. It was very, very distorted, you know. And I want to encourage people again. This is to encourage you because I'm on the other side now. Okay, praise God, but y'all, I'm free. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, I wrote a book. This is my book. It's actually a journal. You know what I'm saying? It's a testimony of my life, what I went through. You know what I mean? But it's more so of a journal, and you can write in it. You know, you can write in it. I'm gonna give you an example. So this is the introduction. This is my story, right? It's a synopsis because I do plan on writing another book with me going into great detail of things that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? But this is more so like a synopsis or whatever. I wrote this book when I was 28 years old. I'm 44 now. I was able to get my book published at 38. That's when the Most High delivered me from all the trauma. But anyway, so like say like you're in bondage to unforgiveness, like you have an unforgiving heart or whatever. I have verses. These are verses. These are verses, and it's personalized to you. So the blanks, you put your name, or whoever you praying for, you put your name in the blank, and it's verses. So it's pointing you back to scripture. I know we was talking about last week, talking about that shaman book and all that stuff. This book is a testimony of my life, pointing you back to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And just a story of, hey, if I can be delivered and healed from trauma, you can too. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, y'all, is not a respecter of persons for real. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I was walking around like damaged goods, you know, because of what trauma had done to me. And um, yeah, so I'm back home. I'm no longer stripping because that did a number on me for real. That did a number on me for real because I was just, I guess I was tired of being violated for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm young. So now back at home. I'm 18. Now I'm a party animal. I'm completely buck wild. I'm hanging with gang members. That was just what I was doing, rolling with members, hanging with them, and you know, I'm using drugs. So now I got introduced to weed at the age of 14, and then I started doing other drugs like PCP, ecstasy pills, mushrooms, and stuff like that. So I was like into drugs, you know what I'm saying? Real heavy. And the reason why, not only did I feel like it numbed the pain for me for real, it also made me be the person that I wish that I was. Like the people that I mimicked that I wanted to be like, the drug automatically just made me like that. Made me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was outgoing. I wasn't shy. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I really was just bold and you know. So drugs was my friend for real, and that's what I would use it. And I would meet people off of that, based off of that, and connect with people based off of that. And you know that's how I had my friend group because you know basically we all trauma bonding for real, you know. And so yeah, so this is okay. So I'm gonna fast forward to how where the turning point happened for me, right? So now, like I said, I'm not tripping no more, no more running away. I'm 18, I'm grown, I can pretty much come and go as I please, or whatever, and I'm just doing my own thing, or whatever. I'm at my friend house at the time. I'm sitting on a brick wall, sitting on the brick wall outside, just yeah, just sitting out there, just I don't know, looking at the cars passing by. I don't know if my mind was if I was thinking whatever I was thinking. I was just sitting out there on a brick wall, and I remember clear as day, the Most High said to me, "If you stay out here in L.A., you are going to be dead." Clear as day, mind you. I wanted to die. I also put myself in situations to die, right? But the I knew what he was saying was true because I was so out there. I would be wearing certain colors in enemy's hood. Again, death wish was written all over me. You feel me? So he told me, you stay out here in California. I mean, you stay out here in LA, you're gonna die. So that was the turning point. The Most High was changing me, changing my direction. So I listened. I listened. I ended up moving away about an hour away from my home at this job training program. I went there. I met he's now my ex husband, my son's father. I met him. It kind of slowed me down, you know. And when I got with my ex husband, um, we was both trauma filled people getting together, for creating a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have, but anyway, it was all a purpose. The Most High wanted to slow me down because I had nothing holding me back. I didn't have no children, so I was coming and going as I please. I could come and go as I please. I wasn't held back by anything or whatever. So, yeah. So, um, I met him. I ended up getting pregnant. Ended up moving back home. I'm pregnant. Had my son. Me and him get married, and that was a turning point for me, whatever. So, um, fast forward. Even though I'm still smoking weed. Not while I was pregnant, but after I had my son, I'm back smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to school now. I'm also working, so I'm doing better than what I was doing before. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, on a better track than before, but I'm still party animals. I have babysitters at hand. I can come and go if I wanted to, but I still was kind of slowed down because I got to make sure he's good. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff or whatever. So fast forward to where it really where it really started turning for me. My grandmother passed away. I'm living in this hotel or motel, and I would be getting dressed to go out. I'll be getting dressed to go out to a club, and I remember I rolled me a blunt, and I'll be smoking weed and stuff like that. I'll pop a pill, and I would pray. I would literally pray high out of my mind. I used to be so high out of my mind. I would pray, and I would say, because I always still believe that God was real. I believe that the Most High was real. I did believe that, but I was so in bondage to the things, my trauma and all that stuff. I couldn't break. I feel like I couldn't break free because at this time now I'm thinking this stuff is fun, but it's destroying me. But I think it's fun, so I'm in bondage to it, whatever. So I'm praying to the Most High. I would be getting dressed to go to the club or whatever, and I would say, this. I remember my prayer. I would say, God, I like smoking weed. I like popping pills. I like meeting guys. I like doing what I do with them. I like all of that. I said, but one thing's for sure, I don't want to go to hell. I do not want to go to hell because I knew hell was a real place. I knew that I didn't want to go there. So if I was being honest about anything in my prayers to God, I did not want to go to hell. I knew it was real. I knew God was real. I didn't want to go to hell. So I would pray that prayer every time I got dressed to go to a club. And I shortly after that, I could start to feel my desires was changing. Like the stuff that I thought was fun and I like to do was starting not to be fun anymore. Starting not to, I don't want to do this for real anymore. The Most High started changing my desires for the things I thought was fun. And then shortly after that, 2009, New Year's Day, I dedicated my life to God, the Most High. Yeah. I wasn't calling him Yah again. Didn't know that so-called black people was Israelites. No, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? But I was back on the road to being the person that I originally wanted to be. Okay. But so that's where I'm gonna end this here because my next live will be about from 2009 to how I got here and the challenges that I experienced in my walk with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't easy. And again, I'm not knowing. Even after I gave my life to God, I'm not knowing I'm a person that experienced trauma. You know what I'm saying? So it took me at the age of 38 to realize that because of something happening. But anyway, so again, I'm delivered. I'm free. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature, right? I am a new creature in the Most High. You know what I mean? I could walk on my head high. You know what I'm saying? I'm bold in the Most High. Whereas one time I used to be ashamed. I was a lukewarm. I had one foot in, one foot out. You know what I'm saying? I've been through all of that. And I've also learned to have a heart of compassion for people that's broken. You know what I'm saying? And also discernment too, because people will manipulate you based off of their brokenness. So you got to be aware of those people too. You know what I'm saying? But it's also people out here that really want help for real. You know, and I'm here to share my story and let people know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It was at one point in my life that I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't know where I was going. You know what I mean? I kept falling down, but I always got back up. Falling down, always getting back up. My mom would tell me all the time, Tony, you're strong. You're a strong person. You're strong. But I never could see it. She saw what I couldn't see. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to encourage y'all. If you broken, if you're broken, man, woman, white, black, whoever, get help. You can get help. You can be healed. You know what I'm saying? The Most High can set you free. You know what I mean? Is the process of healing the easiest and the funnest? No. Because you're going to face things like when I was going to therapy, it was things that I dug so deep that I forgot. I didn't even know that was a thing for real. I had dug some of my trauma so deep that I didn't even realize, like, oh, I do that, or I say this, or I act like this because of that. Wow, I didn't even realize. You know what I'm saying? You start connecting the dots, and so again, just on here sharing my story. I know the Most High gotta listen, man. I'm in my new chapter of life. You know what I'm saying? And I praise the Most High for deliverance. And again, I want to encourage anybody that's watching this video, if you are a person that has experienced things that are, you know what I'm saying, you don't understand why you're behaving in certain ways, why you act a certain way, get the help that you need. Therapy is good for you. Take the time, do your homework, find the right therapist for you. So I'm gonna end it here. I'll be back, y'all willing, next Sunday with my next timeline 2009 from here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm also put my videos on YouTube, so I got videos that, like I said, I'm redoing because I need to redo them anyway. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching, and I hope the video wasn't all over the place because I never know until after I watch it. But you guys have a great day, and always remember Matthew 22:14 says, "For many are called, few are chosen." Be blessed.